All right, I just wanted to make a quick little guide to like pattern recognition on beppi, because I don't, as far as I'm aware, most people don't like pay attention to the patterns on beppi first phase, and it's like really not that difficult and hugely beneficial, and it really only requires looking at the first set of scoots, which I guess let's just get into how that works, because that's the first step here, is just identifying the patterns. So here are all the patterns. And so each one of these kind of represents like how many scoots beppi is going to do before like lunging and then going to the next or the other side. And so let's just choose one of these patterns. So we'll just do 5B. This is a really common one. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that last one he starts the charge. And so you can also kind of think about it as like 6, and then like if he does 6, that's 1 less for 5B. Or yeah, you can kind of think about it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after, the last one being the charge. Then the plus patterns, this makes it so the charge happens like halfway through a scoot. So 1, 2, 3, and. Let me just do that again. These ones can be a little harder, but I guess they're usually pretty distinctive, where you can tell like kind of how it looks weird. The fact that it is like halfway through a scoot, so that's kind of just usually your indicator that it is a plus pattern. But all right, so once again, 1, 2. Yeah, and so then I guess that's kind of where I think of it, as like with each of these patterns, I think of it as like 1 extra scoot more than the number here. So it's like 3 scoots plus like is like a half scoot, and then the charge. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the way that I think about it. Then once you've kind of went through and recognize, like you can recognize all the patterns, I guess here I'll point out this one is basically the same thing, just a little bit more delayed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, it's pretty I guess it doesn't really, there's not much confusion here, because there isn't a 3B plus, there's just 3B plus plus or 3B. So that shouldn't be super difficult to recognize. Now, all right, so the actual like patterns here, this looks like a very complicated list, but it really only boils down to like 2 sets of patterns that you have to look out for, and then the rest are all like relatively the same, at least in how you play like post lobber trap. So it's like, it can be nice to like recognize those patterns specifically, but just to kind of know like, oh, okay, this is about how long it's going to last, but it's not super essential. So the biggest one to look out for is 5B plus. This one is like kind of the troll pattern that you'll kind of see people complain about a lot, where they're like, oh, that was like so bullshit. Because I'll play through it here. This is like the shortest pattern, as in the third scoot, or the third set of scoots is the shortest that you can get. Because basically how this works is that here is your starting set of scoots. He goes to the other side of the screen, and then it goes down the list, and it'll just keep going. It'll keep looping this forever. But what that essentially means is that with each starting position, then you have 2 more sets of scoots. And so then it really is kind of boils down to like, you see the first one and then you can know with most patterns what the third one is going to be afterwards. And this dictates like how many EXs you need to use in that third set of scoots to make sure you don't overdamage and to try and get a low hanger. But as we'll get into, there are patterns where it starts out looking the same, or it starts out with the same thing and then it has different third outcomes, but we'll get into that later. So 5B plus. This match will get red hot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 5B plus. So yeah, he just keeps going back. So you kind of need to anticipate him to just go back. Just keep going back. Oftentimes I'll damage boost there, and that will like let me get my last EX out in time. But here I didn't even need it. I got a triple. So that helped. So this pattern is just, you just want to unload all of your EXs immediately, or you'll use 2 EXs. I guess you could use 3. I think you really don't even run into that situation. Like you can basically never get enough cards to do that in time. But yeah, this is, you just need to get out as much damage as possible to just get this. And you don't have to worry about triples at all, like screwing you up at all. Like I've tested this and I'm pretty sure in like, I couldn't like over damage early once with hitting 2 triples. So like you don't have to worry about that at all. All right, so then the next one to look out is actually 3 patterns. It's all the 5B patterns. So this one is kind of a 2 out of 3 of the times you get a long third set of scoots. So it's 5B, ends with 5B. Then this 5B goes into a 2B plus. So this is the 1 and 3 that it's a very short pattern. And then 5B plus. And so you might be thinking that maybe you could use, like you could pay attention to the second set of scoots to know whether, like to identify these differently, but that actually doesn't help at all because the 2B plus ending one and the 5B plus ending one have identical second set of scoots, 4B plus. So you could basically narrow it down to a 50-50. Either knowing you got a long one that you have to wait out, or rather that you have to only use 1 Lobber EX before the charge happens on this last set of scoots. So I mean, like, I guess that could be valuable if you're like, you want to bank on, you know, getting this shorter pattern to get more EXs out. But yeah, for the most part, or basically what this boils down to is if you see 5B plus, you want to be ready for a short pattern, but only use 1 EX so that you don't overdamage. And with this one, if you get a triple, you want to hold back damage. We'll just play through the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yep, we wait. And yeah, it's a very long last one. So if I used another card, that would have almost certainly overdamaged. Like I'll show what that looks like. Okay, so here I got a triple. Actually, this is a good example. Yeah, I don't really have like a good methodology for like how much damage to hold back or anything, but it's just like, just play it safe. Lean on the safe side so that you don't throw your run to over damaging early. And also just like try to use your EX in a spot that won't get you a triple, because it's not really that beneficial, or it just kind of like, yeah, this works out nicely with a double, basically.
A great slam and then stop. You're up.
So here I use 2. And yeah, we get the early over damage, which this isn't inaccessible, but you'd get like a 50 at best probably. Anyway, so yeah. And then you just need to watch out. You just need to be ready for the 1 in 3 short pattern, which looks like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there I actually held back damage, so that caused me to not get the low hanger, but I couldn't have known that that was going to be the short pattern. So yeah, this is like a kind of 1 in 3 to basically not get a low hanger, but it's just not worth playing, like risking playing a 1 in 3 chance to like not troll by over damaging early. So on all of these, the rest of the patterns, if you get a triple, then you don't use any more EXs. And then I tested pretty much all of these, and I don't think any of them over damaged still at that point. But I think there might be certain situations if you get like perfect damage, perfect lobber trap, it might still over damage. But I haven't really run into that, so it's probably fine. Then it's like if you get a double first and then a triple on your second one on accident, then you need to hold back damage. And that's a situation that I haven't really run into very often. And so I don't really have a good, like I said, I don't really have a good prescription for here's what you got to do in that situation. Just like play it safe because you don't want to over damage. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I'll just kind of set this to random and just play through a few patterns to just kind of like give you an idea of what this looks like. Give some more examples.
A great slam and then stop.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was a 4B plus. This is like 5.5 minus 1. That's kind of how I think about it. I kind of trolled that. I didn't play that very well. Should have used 2 EXs. 3. Okay, so that's a 2. Nope. Yeah, another weird kind of situation that I didn't play very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was 6.5. So 5B plus. Yep, just unload everything. And I'm not sure if that would have been a low hanger. That was a little bit delayed, so it maybe would have been like a slightly lower head. We just keep getting the same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was 3B. So here, yeah, I can use 2 EXs before the charge, but then just want to be careful in case of a triple.
This match will get red hot. Now
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was a 4B plus because that was 5.5. Okay, so that was a triple. So I'm gonna just wait. And that was kind of weird ducks, but yeah, still worked out.
here's a real high-class bout. Now
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5B. I might have overdamaged there. I think I did. Nope. Okay, so now we just wait. And yep, long one. So
This match will get red hot. Here goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was 5.5. So 4B plus, 4B plus. Oh, got a single there. But I think I should still maybe be able to get... Okay, if I got a double there, that still would have been a low hanger. But all right, you get the point. It's actually pretty simple. Once you're able to like recognize what each of the patterns looks like, it really just takes a little bit of focus of like making sure that you're counting them. And yeah, it's just like resolves like most of the issues that I've had with it. And like there's so many situations that I see like other people run into that like if you were counting here or if you were like paying attention to the pattern, like this could have been avoided. So yeah,